IQSC of Lokanitya Venkatrao Hire College and the Department of Chemistry. A warm welcome to Honorable Speaker, Professor Dr. Ravindra Kulkarni sir, former Vice Chancellor, University of Mumbai. Our principal, who is always a guiding and encouraging support for all of us, Dr. B.H. Jagdale sir. My co-colleague, Vice Principal, Dr. K.H. Kapadni sir, who is also heading the Department of Chemistry. The NAC coordinator, Vishnu Adore sir, all the staff members of Chemistry Department. In brief, I will just express my views. This particular initiative is being taken under the guidance of our principal that the lectures series shall be organized by all the departments of the college. And let me tell you, sir, that till the moment 3 lectures we have organized online with very eminent speakers related with NEP topics such as incorporating technology in language studies as well as multiple entry and exit and alumni connect. And this is the 4th lecture in the lecture series which is organized by the Department of Chemistry. Last year the college has celebrated a golden jubilee year, and under the guidance of our principal we have organized number of quality initiatives. We have organized various seminars, webinars on various topics related with the NEP as well as the research, student-centric and research-centric activities, cultural activities, and all the spheres of various issues related with the higher education. And this particular precedent is being continued this year also. And the IQSC of this particular college is very active. We are running various research programs. We are also running various skill-based programs. Research-related activities are being carried out. Students as well as teachers are being involved in various research activities and publications and other sort of new ICT-related activities. And this particular IQSC initiatives will be continued throughout this particular year. This year we are going to face NAC also, the 3rd accreditation. In the previous accreditation we received A grade from the NAC. Also we are the recipient of the best college by Savitribai Phule Pune University. And I hope that this kind of activities will be definitely beneficial for the teachers as well as for the students. And there is, though NEP is being implemented to some extent, but there are certain confusions and still there is no clarity as such. So I think this kind of lectures will be beneficial, and sir's input, Kulkarni sir's input will be definitely useful for all of us. I won't be taking much time because we want to listen to him much. And so on behalf of IQSC, on behalf of our institute as a Dean of Humanities, as well as an IQSC coordinator of this college, I welcome all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for expressing your views about this program. So now I would like to request Dr. V.A. Adore sir to introduce our eminent guest speaker, Professor Dr. R.D. Kulkarni sir. Adore sir. Vishnu Adore sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Vishnu sir.
It's pleasure to introduce today's resource person, Professor R.D. Kulkarni sir. Sir is Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai and Senior Professor of Oil Tech Institute of Chemical. Senior grade students in the academia. And he and 15 PhD students are PhD awarded, 2 PDFs, 58 MTech students. He has peer-reviewed publications of more than 75, 56 international journals and 19 national with cumulative impact factor of 170. 3 patents are granted and 4 patents are filed. R&D projects are DRDO.
There is some problem in audio, Adore sir.
There is some problem, connectivity issue might be. Vishnu sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible?
Now you are audible. In between you were not audible. You can continue, sir.
प्रॉब्लेम दिसतोय विष्णू सर.
हा.
आय थिंक आज कॉलेजच्या इंटरनेटचा काय प्रॉब्लेम सगळे.
एकच मिनिटात मी जातो त्यांच्याजवळ आणि रिझॉल्व्ह करतो. विष्णू याच्यावर बोल.
Am I audible? Sheetal madam, am I audible?
Yes, you can continue.
Okay. Thank you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce today's resource person, Professor R.D. Kulkarni, sir. Sir is Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai and Senior Professor of Oiltech Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. Professor R.D. Kulkarni, sir, is working as Senior Grade Professor in Chemical Technology with 29 years of experience in the academia. He is teaching to MSc, BTech, and MTech students, and he is guiding PhD students also. More than 15 PhD students are PhD awarded, 2 PDF, and 58 MTech students are to his credit. Peer-reviewed journal publications are more than 75, and amongst these, 56 international journals and 19 national with cumulative impact factor of 170. 3 patents are granted and 4 patents are filed. He is handling more than 16 research projects having a price of worth 2.15 crore. He is having industrial consultancy for more than 8 projects of 14.9 crore. Before being deputed as Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai during 2016-18, he worked as professor and head of the Department of Oils, Oleochemicals and Surfactant Tech, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. Prior to this, he was holding the position of professor and head of the Department of Paint Technology and director at UICT North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Professor Kulkarni is working in the fields of renewable polymers, nanopigments, and green functional paints, oleochemicals, surfactants, and biolubricants. His research work is based on combination of green approach and ultra scientific tools to track the chemical and physical transformations brought out by surfactant mediated protocols. He has received awards and recognitions such as Professor J.G. Kane Memorial Award 2021, elected as Life Fellow of Indian Chemical Society, Best Teacher Award in 2014, Best Paper Award in 2006 by JOCCA, Surface Coating International, etc. He is working for various consultancy assignments for industry such as Godrej Industry, Malaysia, Savita Oil Technology, Mumbai, then many more to his credit. He is the life member of various professional bodies such as Indian Society for Technical Education, Oil Technologies Association of India, and Asian Polymer Society. Widely traveled to Singapore, Germany, Thailand, Indonesia, Netherlands, France, Switzerland, Japan, Mauritius, Russia, etc. for conference presentation, professional interactions, and visit to various universities. More than 85 invited talks and 150 conference presentations are to his credit. Experience in handling quality issues, assessment and accreditation related practices of NAC, NBA, and NIRF. Served in many different capacities on different statutory bodies of state and central university, as well as different state, national level higher education committees, such as Director of IQC, Member Senate and Academic Council of North Maharashtra University, Visitors Nominacy Executive Council, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, Honorary Advisory Position of Academic Council of Capital University, Jharkhand, Member of Academic Council of Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University, Nasik, Member of IQC Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, Member of Board of Research MIT ADT University, Pune, and SNDT University. He is also member Working Group for Preparation of Guidelines for University Industry Linkage Program, UGC, New Delhi. Member State University for JJ College of Agriculture, Fine Arts and Applied Arts, and Chairman Committee for Design for 4-year degree program, and also for dual degree program in line with NEP-2020. Higher and Technical Education Department, Government of Maharashtra 2022. Sir, it's great privilege to have you with us for this program. I welcome you on behalf of our college, department, and IQC. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for introducing me, Principal Jagdare sir. again giving you warm congratulations and greetings for your birthday. And it's a matter of pleasure for me to present a lecture on a academic bank of credits on the eve of your birthday itself. Dr. Kaparni sir, the IQAC coordinator, and all other my fellow colleagues from your esteemed college, as well as the esteemed audience who are really attending this session for an important topics, academic bank of credits in reference to execution of national education policy 2022 2020 itself in the year 2022. Am I completely audible and my PPT is visible, sir, to all?
Yes, sir. You are audible and your PPT is also visible.
Okay, so thank you. So let me begin with my topic of presentation, academic bank of credits, which is primarily connected with higher education institutions as well as the students pursuing different 4-year degree programs or 5-year integrated PG programs, or probably 1-year PG program, which are being designed under national education policy. Friends, like as IQAC coordinator said in the beginning, there appears to be a lot of confusion with reference to implementation of national education policy, because it is connected with several different features. On one side, we are talking about design and development of 4-year degree program in a multidisciplinary environment where we expect the education institutions to move on in a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary academic structure. And at the same time, we expect the credit transfer mechanism in the form of academic bank of credits, which enables students to move across from one institution to another institution while he or she is planning for his or her degree program. So the entire possibility of design of academic program is now being given with due autonomy to the students itself. And the mechanism for seamless mobility with reference to credit transfer from one higher education institution to higher education institution is through academic bank of credit. Now, one has to keep in mind the national higher education policy as well as the school education policy are governed by individual formats, individual credit framework, individual curriculum guidelines, individual design systems, and which are being given by various draft guidelines which are released by UGC over a period from 2021 to 2022. In fact, we see that every day or every month, probably UGC is releasing certain draft guidelines so as to have a more and more and better understanding of execution of national education policy. Of course, with reference to higher education by UGC itself, and NCERT is dealing with school education framework, and they are also going for national curriculum framework, NCF, through which the school education can be understood properly. It needs to be kept in mind at this stage that there is no compartmentalization now. There is no rigid boundary between school education and higher education now. The transfer from school education to an higher education happens through the academic bank of credit, where even the schools are allowed to be registered on academic bank of credit. Although ABC is primarily dealing with higher education, connected with award of certificate, diploma, degree, or like a 5-year PG program, or even a PhD program. Say, one has to keep in mind the schools are also allowed to be registered on academic bank of credit. Not only schools, even yes, madam, is there an issue?
Nothing, sir, from your side.
Achha, okay. say even ITS, industrial training institutes, like which are operated after 10th standard, or government polytechnics, or in general any polytechnics, are also allowed to be registered on academic bank of credit, primarily because the entire mechanism, the base for which the students is entering into higher education, is no longer restricted to 12th standard. Okay, normally we consider 12th standard as probably a framework which allows the student to be uh, uh, allowed to take admission for higher education in any colleges or in any university. But now with government, with polytechnics, industrial training institutes, ITI, or even vocational institutions being allowed to register on academic bank of credit, it has to be kept in mind that there are a lot of equivalences with reference to the benchmark, the basic educational requirements for getting registered into an higher education. So even say, for example, 10th standard with 2 years in polytechnic is equivalent to the 12th standard. Or let us say 9th standard students takes up ITI for 2 different fields, and then takes up 2 years vocational program. So that is also taken as an equivalent to 12th standard. So no longer 12th standard is the only entity, only base for getting admitted into higher education framework. And this has become primarily possible because of introduction of the academic bank of credit. Now, friends, probably why you say why all of us feel the complexities connected with national education policy NEP 2020, which was introduced in July 2020 through an approval by an honorable parliament, and thereafter, probably after 1 year, in July 2000, around July August 2021, the first draft guideline with reference to multiple entry and exit feature with reference to 4-year degree program was introduced. Thereafter, the draft guidelines with reference to multidisciplinary higher education higher education was introduced. Thereafter, probably said the draft guidelines with reference to evaluation reforms were introduced. Then the draft guidelines with reference to National Higher Education Qualification Framework, NHEQF, was introduced in January. Then probably the guidelines with reference to PhDs have been introduced. So likewise, we have come across so many frameworks, and you need to, as someone who is a stakeholder in higher education, you are required to read all these guidelines and say probably there, since we may not have read all guidelines, there we find a little complexity, but probably just an introduction of this particular presentation on academic bank of credit, I understand that I would be able to successful, at least in part, at least in some level, that the complexity could be made more simplified. Friends, we know that national education policy is expected to bring far-reaching changes to the current education system with proposals for multiple entry and exit options for students. With a thrust on holistic multidisciplinary education, the students can have imaginative and flexible curricular structures which will enable creative combinations of disciplines for study, removing the current boundaries, current rigid separations between arts, commerce, science, or engineering itself. So probably all these rigid boundaries are being allowed to be eliminated, and probably academic bank of credit is one such probably a step or one such platform which enables students' mobilities across higher education institutions, meaning thereby now students can register themselves simultaneously for different courses across different higher education institutions through the use of platform, the virtual platform of academic bank of credit. It's a national level facility which provides and promotes the flexibility for the curriculum framework, as well as interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary academic mobility of students across the higher education institutions in the country with uh, uh, due credit transfer mechanism. So before we understand academic bank of credit, I just would like to tell you something about the structure and duration of the under 4-year undergraduate program and probably 1-year or 2-year postgraduate program, or probably a 5-year integrated PG program under national education policy with reference to National Higher Education Qualification Framework, wherein we'll just try to understand what are really the qualification type and credit requirements, because that will prove or provide a better understanding with reference to academic bank of credit itself. So friends, really the qualification type and credit requirements in reference to National Higher Education Qualification Framework can be summarized as being presented in this third slide. Okay, so wherein you observe that to enable multiple entry. When I say multiple entry, entry at different levels. And when I say multiple exit, exit after successful completion of the credit requirements for that particular level. Okay, so with that reference, the qualifications such as certificate, diploma, and degree are organized in a series of levels in ascending order from level 4.5 to level 8, with 4.5 level connected to certificate and level 8 connected to PhD. Friends, probably these are the recent level guidelines with reference to levels, because if you would have seen the multiple entry exit document released in 2021, there they were organized in a series of levels from 5 to 10, where 5 was considered certificate and PhD was considered to be level 10. But in recent, probably over last 3 to 2 months, UGC in combination with AICT, that's UGC, AICT, and National Qualification Framework Board. Okay, the 3 bodies together have released new level, released the modifications with reference to levels, and now instead of 5 to 10, you have 4.5 to 8, which are considered more or less equivalent on international platform, because academic bank of credit is no longer restricted only to national entity. Even the foreign higher education institutions would be allowed to be registered on academic bank of credit, and probably there could be credit transfer mechanism not only between 2 higher education institutions under 1 university, but even 2 higher education universities across different universities in a state or in our entire nation, or even across registered foreign higher education institutions, probably which are recognized by University Grants Commission itself. So it's a complete freedom with reference to mobility. So like your institution is recognized, says an affiliated institution under Savitribai Phule Pune University, and probably you can enter into an MOU for credit transfer arrangement with St. Xavier Institute of University of Mumbai, or probably even any higher education institution connected with Delhi University also. That much freedom is being given. Of course, one of the compulsory requirement of credit transfer for on academic bank of credit is to have MOUs across higher education institutions registered on academic bank of credit. Now, just let us have a brief and fast understanding about these levels, because all of us are probably very much familiar with now 4-year degree program. And as I heard from IQAC coordinator that you already have few lectures on national education policy. So really you must have developed a right understanding on 4-year degree program. So with that understanding, I just move on fast with reference to this level structure presented in this series, where level 4.5 represents an undergraduate certificate in the field of learning or discipline for those. So students will be awarded a certificate with level 4.5 if they exit after successful completion of first year or 1 year and 2 semesters of the 4-year undergraduate program with a probable minimum requirements of credits of 36 to 40. Okay, 36 to 40 itself. See, please keep in mind here, probably every university now, shortly, Maharashtra government is going to finalize the state level policies with reference to execution of national education policies across universities, and probably every university will have a little freedom in defining credit requirements. So although I have said 36 to 40 as a credit requirement for successful completion of UG certificate, one has to keep in mind that the universities through their academic councils and autonomous colleges through their BOS and academic councils will have a freedom of defining credits with, of course, minimum requirement is 36 to 40, but they can take a 44, 48 credits also for definition of a certificate, also for award of certificate also. That freedom is given to the individual universities itself. And of course, one has to a word of caution here. Say the student, so when we say student after successful completion of 1 year with the completion of 36 to 40 credits connected to a particular program with well-defined core, major and minor, and probably vocational skills or probably certain foundation ability enhancement program. So there it is said that the student is allowed to exit after completion of certificate with completion of 36 to 40 credit if and only it's just completing 36 to 40 credit is not sufficient. They will have to undertake additional 10 credits course, 10 credits additional curriculum within 2 months after completion of successful completion of 36 to 40 credits. So within 2 months, they will have to complete additional 10 credits, out of which, out of 10 credits, 6 credits are connected to those skills with reference to their job. Say, for example, a student with student with commerce as a core, if he or she would like to move on to a bank after successful completion of 1 year, 36 to 40 credits, then he or she will have to complete 6 credit internal training. Okay, the training in a bank of 6 credits. So 1 credit corresponding to 1 week training. So that's a 6-week training internship in a bank. And after successful completion of those 6 credits plus 4 additional credits connected to theory part, once they get 10 credits, then and then they will be allowed to join a particular organization with reference to the skills for which the student has earned enough training. So that's a word of understanding while going for while going for an award of successful certificate. So similarly, level 5 is connected to undergraduate diploma with 70 to 80 credits, naturally 4 semesters, 2 years. And of course, again, student is being awarded UG diploma, not only with successful completion of 70 to 80 credits, 2 years and 4 semesters, but in addition, the 10 credits additional skill requirements within next 2 months, and then the students is allowed to leave for diploma. In a similar way, you have level 5.5 connected to 3 years bachelor's degree or 3 years bachelor's of vocation degree. We take accumulated credits of 108 to 120 with 6 semesters. Level 5.5 that is how connected with bachelor program. Level 6 is now connected with the new 4-year degree program which has been introduced, and there are 2 types under this 4-year degree program. One is like honors and the other is research, defined by appropriate design of the curriculum for that 4-year degree multidisciplinary program. And at the same time, if you engineering technology programs are still 4-year, and either of say the level 6 4-year degree program will have an accumulated credits of 144 to 16. Level 6.5 represents a PG diploma